What are social reforms? The etymology of the word reform means forming again or reconstruction. Social reforms are developmental reconstructions of certain practices and behaviors of the society. They are attached to the cause of bringing a revolutionary change in the norms, customs, practices, and behaviors of the society. The revolutionary change in this context is gradual rather than rapid and is achieved through social awareness and wellness campaigns, social activism, and at times protesting measures that are peaceful and non-violent in nature. A social reformer is the person who works to bring about a change in the existing state of affairs and serves humanity. Mass media, primarily the print media, played a very crucial role in social reformation process during 18th to 19th century because media grew as a bridge between the government and citizens. Post-independence, mass media like radio and television evolved and reformed the social setup of India in very many ways. However, it is the new media, the internet platforms that revolutionized the magnitude and scale of social reforms in India and the world at large. Brief history of social reforms in India. India has a long history of socio-religious reform movements that occurred during pre-independence. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who is considered as the architect of the Indian Renaissance and father of modern India, was an active social reformer of the 19th century. He worked relentlessly to abolish the evil practice of sati in India. He established Brahmo Samaj, an organization and movement that promoted monotheism, criticizing idol worship and working to uplift the social condition of women in India. Swami Vivekananda was against the religious dogmas and superstitious beliefs. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar worked for the promotion of widow remarriage custom during the 19th century. Jyotiba Phule worked for emancipation of caste system prevalent in India, promoted women's education and fought for creating a just and equitable society. Another prominent social reformer of the discussed times is Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. He fought for the rights of the untouchables, lower caste people. These were manual, men-led social reforms that made the best use of the available print medium, that is books, newsletters, periodicals, newspapers, etc. in national and regional languages. Radio came to India during 1920s and the famous speech of Pandit Nehru on radio called Tryst with Destiny was given on 14th February at midnight when India attained independence from the British rule. Television came on 15 September 1959 starting from Delhi and it was the first audio-visual medium which superseded the old media. Radio and television remained tools for government propaganda and news until 1978 when these two mediums were officially separated. During 1980s, a socially relevant change took place which was the introduction of soap operas in the country, with Hum Log being the first soap opera that mirrored the social dynamics and brought about electronic advertising in the country. During 1990s, the Indian government accepted the liberalization and privatization of television, which brought in many socially challenging subjects on small screen, like illegitimate pregnancies, the dilemmas of working women, extramarital affairs, marital rapes, etc. In this way, television has always been the social reforming and modernizing agent, bringing about a gradual change in the society through non-violent, subtle and meaningful ways. The internet was the next big thing during early 20th century. Internet is a network of networks. Once the internet penetrated in the Indian households, the digital evolution began in the country and the world at large. When something serious occurs in a country, the internet is the fastest medium to communicate the event or development to the entire world. How is the internet useful in social reforms? Social reforms through the internet have given rise to the term called internet activism, also known as web activism, online activism, digital activism or e-activism. It is the use of the communication technologies available on the internet like email, podcasts, social networking sites, etc. to motivate, persuade, mobilize and instigate individual and collective action for favorable social change. The social change could demand the execution of human rights, gender equity, abolition of social evils like corruption, child labor, honor killings, etc. Internet activism can be categorized as awareness or advocacy, organization or mobilization, action or reaction. In other words, digital activism makes use of the new media tools, social media, the internet, mobile phones to bring about a social or political change. Internet activists or e-activists ask the public to sign e-petitions that can be sent to the government urging for a positive policy change. The internet facilitates the organizations to communicate with individuals with economy of cost and time. The digital activism was flipped with the advent of Web 2.0 and the dot-com boom. The magnanimous change in the field of digital activism was achieved after the popularization of Facebook and Twitter in the last 1 decade. According to the Meta Activism Project, online activism think tank, the key functions of online activism for social reforms should be as follows: shaping public opinion, planning an action, sharing a call to action, taking action digitally, and transfer of resources. Tools of the Internet for social reforms. The various Internet tools used for social reforms are discussed below. Online petitions. There are certain websites or social reform hubs like change.org and moveon.org where users sign online petitions regarding some burning social problems in India and the world like human rights, violation, demanding justice for child rape cases, violation of animal rights, etc. Causes which affect the social and environmental health of people and other living beings are taken up by these websites and the signed petitions are sent to the government demanding a social reform either through policy making, implementation of the government social welfare schemes or judicial action. Social networking sites like Twitter, Facebook and YouTube, even Instagram have been proven beneficial in implementation of awareness campaigns, mobilization of the people towards a social concern and above all, giving virtual spaces to citizens where they can express their views and engage in social discussions. For example, Facebook and Twitter played a critical role in mobilizing people after the Nirbhaya rape case in 2012 and the recent Asifa rape case in 2018. People from all religions and all walks of life participated in protest marches, candle marches that were planned on Facebook and Twitter. These social networking sites expand the reach of the case and help in mobilization and persuasion of the citizens towards collective social activism. Hashtag activism is the use of hashtags for supporting a cause or issue through social media outlets like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Twitter's hashtag function, which allows people to have their tweets contributed to a multi-user conversation by typing a keyword or phrase preceded by a hashtag, is used frequently as a digital tool for spreading a message. The Chinese equivalent to Twitter, Weibo, is subject to scrupulous government censorship. However, people circumvent this blockade by using code words when writing about issues that might be government sensitive. Example of social reform through hashtag activism. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao campaign. Save the girl child, educate the girl child. Started in 2015 by Shri Narendra Modi government, popularized the use of hashtag selfie with daughter worldwide in support of the cause. Blogs and microblogs are the means of non-filtered communication with the audience about the socially reformative topics and for promotion of online social awareness campaigns. Microblogging sites are used to spread awareness about an issue or event. Examples of social reforms through the internet. Role of Facebook in Jasmine Revolution, also known as Tunisian Revolution, marked the beginning of Arab Spring in 2011. It began with an incident wherein a 26-year-old unemployed person selling fruits in a cart was harassed by the local police officers who asked the vendor to pay bribes and they confiscated his cart. Agitated by this, the fruit seller protested outside the government office by setting fire to himself. This incident agitated the protests in Tunisia. Facebook played a magnanimous role in mobilization of people who united and straight protested against the unjust government norms, asking for a resolution to issues like unemployment rate, food inflation, corruption, lack of political freedom, and poor living conditions. During that time, Facebook was the latest social networking site in business that had event planning feature used by Tunisians. It is interesting to know why it is called Jasmine Revolution. Jasmine is Tunisia's national flower and has cultural relevance in the country. In blossoming season, vendors selling jasmine bracelets and necklaces can be found in the local markets of Tunisia. The intent was to purify the country of the repressive political regime, and jasmine flower is a significance of purification. Jasmine Revolution was a purely social media driven reformation. It was not led by any leader but by the people of Tunisia united for social change. Anti-corruption movement in India. India anti-corruption campaign and social movement began in 2011 with the social activist Anna Hazare sitting on a hunger strike at Jantar Mantar, New Delhi. This movement was amongst the top 10 news stories of 2011 in the Times magazine. Later, Baba Ramdev joined the campaign to repatriate black money from Swiss banks. This campaign was backed up by the electronic news channels as their prime agenda but was massively flipped by Facebook, which united people in support of Anna Hazare to eradicate corruption and collected in huge numbers at the Jantar Mantar for several months in New Delhi. Hashtag I Am Nirbhaya campaign against sexual violence in India. Times now initiated hashtag I Am Nirbhaya campaign against sexual violence in India, which was popularized and shared on Twitter with its hashtag after the rape case that took place in 2012 in Delhi, which shook the nation and united people to seek social change by urging the government and judiciary to take swift action against the rapists and make stringent laws. As a result, fast-track courting for rape cases was launched in India. Social media played a major role in bombarding the government with signed petitions and podcasts, articles, blogs and statements from across India demanding justice for the rape victim who could not survive. Hashtag Justice for Asifa. India united against Kathua child rape case. The recent gang rape of an 8-year-old girl named Asifa in a temple located in Kathua, Jammu shook the nation, and people in large numbers planned protest marches and candle marches through social networking websites with the hashtag Justice for Asifa. The social media was immensely flooded with the pictures, videos, posters, slogans, poems, posts, articles demanding justice for Asifa. Social media platforms again proved to be the driving vehicles of social change in this case as well. Black Lives Matter. A grassroots movement demanding anti-racist behavior towards the blacks in the US began from Facebook message by Alicia Garza, an activist from Oakland, California in 2013. A white police officer in Florida responsible for the death of a teen-aged black boy was not convicted because of the state's controversial Stand Your Ground law. After this incident, Garza created the hashtag Black Lives Matter and it became viral on Facebook and Twitter. Arab Spring, Twitter and Facebook have been the mass mobilizing agents for protest culture, starting from Tunisia and spreading over to the Arab countries like Egypt, Libya, Iran, etc. for outthrowing the repressive government regimes. Twitter emerged as the key broadcasting tool, allowing reports of atrocities against protesters and demonstrations in Tunisia to spread to media outlets around the globe despite efforts by governments to block or censor local sites that covered them. Boko Haram's abduction of schoolgirls in Nigeria. In April 2014, Boko Haram terrorists kidnapped more than 300 girls from a school in northern Nigeria. Some 50 girls managed to escape, but 276 remained captured, prompting an international outcry that was largely funneled into a social media campaign to lobby governments to intervene. The topic, hashtag Bring Back Our Girls, went viral within a week, with people like activist Malala Yousafzai and US First Lady Michelle Obama tweeting their support. The rapid-fire raid that the hashtag Bring Back Our Girls shot across the internet helped galvanize public support for the families of the girls, while the case drew attention from the international media and heads of state offered to help Nigeria find and bring back the missing girls. Taiwan student protests. In 2014, student demonstrations began in Taipei, Taiwan, over a controversial trade pact with China. The student groups anticipated that the government will shut down the internet services to curb their protests. Therefore, they used a new mobile application called FireChat. This application proved to be an invaluable communication tool, allowing them to send messages from one phone to another without mobile connection. And this application was used for social reform by mass mobilization in Taiwan. Conclusion. One of the biggest benefits of using the internet for social reforms is the ability to connect with a large community and, if applicable, globalize social campaigns' goals. The interconnected nature of social media platforms such as Facebook and Twitter lend themselves easily to information sharing, meaning an activist can post a slogan, picture or details about an issue, share it with friends, plug into like-minded online communities and distribute info through their networks in a much less time and energy consuming way than more traditional methods of going door to door or standing on street corners and asking the internet users to sign petitions. Beyond getting the message out there, digital activism allows anyone with access to the digital world a platform to make their case and call for change, and it can be particularly beneficial to those who are often silenced or have no vehicle for their message. Detractors of digital activism point out that it requires people to do the bare minimum to engage in a topic. Messages and ideals can get brushed aside in the push for more clicks, likes, impressions and page views when campaigning online, and the information superhighway is now bumper to bumper, with causes and campaigns which can make it difficult for any of them to achieve meaningful impact. Just like with traditional media, a lot of the time certain campaigns and causes only start to gain momentum once a prominent individual or organization picks up on it. That is all that we had for you for today. Till the next time, it's a goodbye.